The parents of the Michigan high school shooting suspect are behind bars now after a manhunt was actually launched to track them down. Now they face involuntary manslaughter charges in the death of 4 students. Their son, alleged shooter 15-year-old Ethan Crumbley, is charged as an adult and pleaded not guilty to 24 charges, including 4 counts of first-degree murder. Unfortunately, what happened in Michigan is not an isolated tragedy. According to the gunviolencearchive.org, more than 41,000 Americans have lost their lives to gun violence in 2021, and there have been 654 mass shootings in the U.S. this year. Joining me now is a father who unfortunately understands an unimaginable loss like this. Manuel Oliver lost his own son, Joaquin, in the Parkland shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in 2018. He has been gracious enough to talk to us a number of times about gun violence, and Manuel joins me now here in D.C., in our nation's capital, as he hopes to meet with President Biden this week after receiving an email from the White House. Manuel, it is so great to see you and have you here actually in the Bureau.
How are you? Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure being here.
Well, it's great to have you here, but the circumstances clearly are not great. And I know you've been asked this a number of times since last week, but I want to hear it from you while you're here with me. When you heard about this shooting in Michigan, when you heard about this 15-year-old student as the alleged suspect, Ethan Crumbley, and you learned that 4 kids lost their lives when he opened fire in those hallways, what was your reaction? What was going through your head and your heart?
Well, my first thought was that I was not doing enough, and there was a risk of me being part of a problem too. Believe it or not, we've been working really hard trying to stop this from happening, preventing people. You don't have to go through this to understand that this is not good. And then 4 years of that have not been enough for us to learn the lesson. So it was a flashback to what happened to Joaquin, and I decided to, instead of keep on saying it, enough is enough, this is it, this is the last time, let's put some action in here. Let's go to, I'm going to D.C., I gotta speak to the highest level authority in the nation that I met already, that promised me that he will work on this issue to see what happens and how is it that we cannot solve this problem.
So on Thursday, you received an email from the Biden administration saying that they would call you this week. You responded that that wasn't enough. You said you're not leaving here until the president meets with you. I did just get a statement from the White House. Believe it or not, it just got handed to me. It came through to us because they know we're interviewing you. First of all, before I just read parts of this, I've been looking through it, and hopefully it'll give you some context. Have you heard back from them? Do you know if indeed you are going to be able to go just down the street here to the White House and meet with the president in person?
Well, I know that I'm willing to stay there until I meet with the president. The president should receive me. I understand that there is some kind of protocol to make an appointment. Well, let's do it. Let's do the protocol. I'm here. But what I got from the White House last week was an email from the assistant of Cedric Richmond.
Yes.
And it was all about me being able to find a day next week for a call. I said, no. Number one, I'm already here. I'm not going back to Florida for a Zoom call so you can hear to what I need to say. And number two, the person that made those promises to me was not Mr. Cedric or his assistant. It was Biden itself. So it makes sense, total sense to me that the person that I want to meet and I want to have the conversation with inside the White House is not anyone else but President Biden.
All right. Well, we are definitely going to wait and see if indeed you get that invitation to go in person. I know you are here and you are waiting. So as we wait for that, and if you do indeed get that meeting with the president, we expect you to come back and be with us, Manuel, of course, and talk about this. Back in June, the administration did release its comprehensive strategy to prevent and respond to gun crime and ensure public safety with key actions, including stemming the flow of firearms used to combat violence. You and other gun control advocates are asking for a federal mandate on securing weapons. Why do you think this mandate is so crucial and so crucial right now, Manuel?
Well, you know what? I'm asking something that it's probably easier than that and beyond that, which is showing the disposition and attitude to end this. I was expecting the president to address Congress after what happened last week and let them know that this is an urgent thing to fix. I want this administration to declare war on gun violence and put an end on it. But that you don't do that in a polite way. You have to really be presidential and really have authority enough to bring everyone into a situation where we're all going to win out of this. This is not against gun owners. This is against gun violence. And I think we all should agree that we deserve our kids, actually your kids, because my kid is not here anymore, deserve a better future, and we need to start working on that right now.
Trust me, Manuel, I think about this every day. My kids are 10-year-old twins, and it was just a couple weeks ago they had the training that if indeed something like this happened at their school, they needed to know how to prepare, which breaks my heart that we even have to go through that type of training, but it's a reality. I'm looking at the note here as you're talking, and this is on background from a White House official who we asked to give us some information about you wanting to meet with the president. Just two things I want to read to you, Manuel. It says, "Our hearts go out to Mr. Oliver for the loss of his son in the Parkland massacre, and for all those who have lost a loved one to gun violence. The president has met with Mr. Oliver in the past." The note goes down, and just to respond to what you just said, Manuel, the note says, and the president will continue to call for Congress to act. In fact, there are 3 House-passed bills to reduce gun violence waiting for Senate action right now. Number 1, the Violence Against Women Act, which includes provisions to keep more guns out of the hands of abusers. Number 2, the bill to require background checks for all gun sales. And number 3, and Build Back Better, which includes the president's historic proposal to invest $5 billion in evidence-based community violence interventions. As you hear those 3 points coming from a White House official this morning in response to what you're asking for, is that enough for you?
No, it's not. Because, you know what? I measure this in results based on the amount of victims that have died since those beginning points that the president announced a few months ago. So it's not. And again, we need to really get serious on this and declare this an emergency. This has not been declared an emergency, and I want President Biden to declare this an emergency. Now, the fact that he will meet or not with me, it's not about me. It's beyond me. It's not about Joaquin. It's beyond Joaquin. It's about showing respect, and it's about really, really, really bringing out that message that this administration, as they promised, will put an end on this. So no, it's not enough. I'll be again today in the White House. We are a few feet away from each other. I don't see what's the big deal for a meeting with the president. And I also think that more people might be willing to join me in this at any moment. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but there are big chances that people that have texted me, supported me through social media will give more and more support actually on site.
Well, I know you are one man to make things happen. So as we wait to see if indeed you get that one-on-one with the president or possibly with other parents, I have to ask you, this is a very unique situation in Michigan where the prosecutor has actually put Ethan Crumbley's parents in jail, charging them with involuntary manslaughter because of what the prosecutor believed they knew, and also the fact that they bought their son a gun. What do you think of the fact that the prosecutor put James and Jennifer Crumbley also in jail?
I think it's a step forward. For the first time, I see that the investigation and the concern goes beyond the shooter itself. But you know what? It goes even beyond the parents. There's a lot of failure in here, and it starts with a system that allows this to happen. That's exactly what we need to be concerned about. I'm very proud of the way that they're treating this case. I think it's great that these parents need to pay for their irresponsibility and not being good parents. That's part of a problem in our society. But again, the toxic is coming from higher levels, and that's the one that we're fighting for.
Finally, Manuel, your message to those parents that lost their child.
The pain will stay. Like I carry my pain with honor. You have not stopped being parents. You are still parents. The fact that your kids are not here anymore, it's the worst punishment that anyone could receive, but your role as parents continues. So I promise you that at some point you will find a way to turn that pain into actions that will make you feel better and probably, who knows, be part of the solution and save some lives.
Manuel Oliver, you do carry your pain with honor and also with advocacy. Thank you so much for being with me here today. I look forward to seeing you again, and I hope you get that meeting with the president.
Hopefully I will. Thank you.
Thank you, Manuel.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.